What's going on, guys? It's time for the July. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's time for the July 2018 Patreon sponsor supporter Q&A. I hope everything blah blah blah. I can't speak today. It was a late night last night. My daughter was kicking. She's doing this new thing where she's like playing drums with her feet in her bed all night, and it's just boom 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 boom, kicking like crazy. But I am here with you guys. It is 2:37 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States of America, Florida to be exact. And I want to welcome all of my sponsors, all the viewers that are watching right now, everybody that supports this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I do one of these supporter Q&As once a month. It's just a little, you know, I'm a one-man show. It's just a little way for me to go thank you to everybody that supports the channel on a monthly basis. So, M98, what's up, man? Hi, unfortunately, I'm at work at the moment, so I will miss the stream. We'll look forward to the video, though. Well, try to enjoy work as much as you can, but I appreciate that silent super chat support, man. I truly do. And Jake, what's up, man? Greetings, Exalted One. Right back at ya. So yeah, today, I don't have as many Patreon questions or Discord questions or anything like that as normal. Normally, I have like over 35. Now I think I have about 11. But I'll chit chat with you guys in the chat, the sponsors that are here. Yeah, how's everybody doing? What's up, Beck? Oh, Senators, there you go. Everybody comes from Elliot's stream. He looks like he's having a hell of a time, isn't he, guys? I'm assuming you guys follow him on Instagram and whatnot, but he's just like having one of those good fun trips that you'll remember for the rest of your life, right, with your buddies. But yeah, I'm sitting here with a Landshark Premium Lager, island-style lager from Margaritaville Brewing Company with a couple limes thrown into it. And I'm just going to shoot the shit with you guys for as long as this Q&A takes. Pal, no worries. You're in the chat, man. You're in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hopped on Discord earlier just to check and see if anybody put anything in there. And to listen to some music with some of you guys. But as soon as I wanted to like kind of talk to you guys, I had fatherly duties to take care of, and then I had to run to the grocery store. But yeah, man, barely have any time. I was talking to my buddies last night. My friend had their baby shower last night, and I was saying, God damn, like I'm able to do like 1/4, maybe not less than that, of what I used to be able to do. But it's worth it, absolutely worth it. My question is, what's your favorite flavor of milkshake? Cookies and cream milkshake all the way, pal. I'm a tubby American now. I've gained so much weight since my daughter was born and through my wife's pregnancy. So yeah, bring on those cookies and cream, man. So yeah, Q&A. I'll do a Q&A here. Like I said, I have about 11 questions or so. We'll go through those, and then I'll just shoot the shit with you guys for maybe like a total of an hour. I can't imagine the Q&A will last as long as normal. So, but yeah. All right, guys, let's go to the first question. It comes from, actually, the first question I skipped because it was kind of, I'm not going to read it. It was like fucking horrible. Yeah, if you're a patron, you can see it. But first question comes from Psychotic. Yeah. Hey, Greedo, what motivates you when everything else gets you down? I try to find motivation to go on when my friends are being dicks, and I tend to slack off when I want to draw comics. There have been things here and there that have helped, but then faded. Was wondering if you could help me on this, Greedo. I haven't been to the live streams because lately I was living off the grid for a while. That sounds awesome. So hopefully I will be at the next live stream. Love you, man. Keep up the great work. Well, I appreciate the question. That's a really tough one. I need to bring it up on my other monitor because my eyes are going. Let me make it a little bigger. I was not prepared for this, huh? This is probably the most janky-ass live Q&A I have ever done. Here we go. Boom. Pulled up. I don't know. It's, yes, what I do when, you know, find motivation when I get down. I honestly, it's weird. I don't know if, like, I don't really have that kind of, I don't know. I don't really get down very often. whenever I do, I usually just kind of maybe play some video games or send my friend some stupid ass texts, or I don't know, man. I think one of the things that has always helped me is kind of doing outside activities, whether it be kayaking or hiking and stuff like that. Psychotic. I find that probably the happiest in the moment experiences I've ever had were camping trips or cabin trips with friends, or the trip me and my wife took out west, and we just hiked the whole entire time, and it was incredible. I don't know why, but that's kind of like when it comes to just overall happiness and clearing your own head. I find that going outside and doing a little bit of exercise or whatnot majorly helps me. I don't know though, man. It's hard to say. It's always hard to get motivated to do something, right? I mean, look at me and my book, right? I've been writing it for 2 years. I'm so close to finishing it. I maybe have like 2 chapters left to write. One is the Q&A that I asked patrons to ask me some questions on. There's going to be a Q&A chapter in the book, which I'm excited to do. And the other chapter is about me being a dad. And those 2 chapters are probably going to be the easiest ones to write in the entire book because, A, I just became a dad and there's a lot of shit running through my mind and I have a lot of opinions and emotions going on right now. And it would probably be relatively easy for me to just breeze through it emotionally and write it, you know? And the other one's a Q&A. That'd be super easy to do. But it's like I can't find the motivation. Well, maybe it's not necessarily the motivation, but I can't find the energy. It's like as soon as we put my daughter down at like 8:30 or so, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay up till midnight, and I'm just gonna start hashing shit out. I'm gonna let my fingers fly on my keyboard, and then I'm out, and then I'm asleep on the couch, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to bed. But where do I find the motivation? I don't know, man. Most of the time, I mean, motivation is certainly an internal thing. I think there can be outside influences for sure, but I don't know. I tend to slack off when I want to draw comics, is what you said. For me, like, whenever... How do I say this? My dad has always said, like, you know, don't complain about where you are, just accept where you are and just do what you need to do. I mean, it's the most basic shit, right? But it's true. And whenever in the past, whenever I did, kind of had writer's block or whatnot, making videos, I would just allot like an hour or 2 in the morning and just be like, okay, this is what you're doing, Greedo. This is what you're doing. You're just writing for an hour. And I would just kind of commit to that, you know? I think having a little bit of self-discipline and committing yourself to a schedule, a personal schedule, not promising anybody anything, but a personal schedule is pretty important, you know? A little bit of discipline. There was a general recently who gave a speech at a college, and he said, like, one of the most important things that you need to do during your day is make your bed. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's kind of a good philosophy, right? You start your day off doing something that you know you need to do. I mean, you don't necessarily need to, but it's a good way to just kind of start off with a little bit of self-discipline, right? And then the rest of the dominoes fall into place, I suppose. But I don't know, Psychotic. It's a pretty deep and interesting question, and I don't have an answer for you. But I don't know. Like that general said, start off by making your bed, I guess, right? But I appreciate the question, man. That's pretty neat. And I'm sorry for missing this, William Quint. Let me replay this. Boom, William. That Death Star alarm means we have a new... Oh, and Psychotic.
Finally able to make a live stream. Just got back from a wedding.
Nice.
Kinda had a mental breakdown, but I'm fine now.
Everything's gonna be good, man. I need to let me turn this music down for myself. Cause it's super loud. Oh, well, I guess then it turns it down for you too, right? I guess I'll have to deal with it. Give me 1 sec, Psychotic. William Quint, thank you so much for becoming the newest fleet member in the HelloGreedo fleet and the HelloGreedo sponsorship. I truly appreciate that, man. Yeah, you get to participate in these monthly Q&As, as well as you get a special role in the HelloGreedo Discord server, so you can link up your YouTube account with your Discord account if you have one, and you get a special role, VIP room, and all that kind of stuff. But, man, I really appreciate that. enjoy your stay. Feel free. I haven't seen you type in the chat, so feel free to type in the chat, man. But I appreciate that, William. Welcome to the fleet. Everybody in the fleet right now who's on, say welcome to the fleet, William. I appreciate that, man. And Psychotic, finally able to make a live stream. Just got back from a wedding. Kind of had a mental breakdown, but I'm fine now, I think. Everything's good. Everything's good. It's kind of, I really can't give much advice, man, because, you know, I don't know. I'm a firm believer that sometimes things just, not for any kind of, like, I don't know, like, otherworldly reason or anything, but I kind of believe that, you know, things tend to work out. So whatever you're going through, just keep kicking ass, keep pushing. But I hope you had fun at the wedding. That's an early ass wedding. Damn. That's early. Or maybe it's late for you. Wait, I don't know. But Psychotic, I appreciate that super chat and the channel support, man. And welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. You say you haven't been able to make a live stream recently. The problem is I've like streamed twice in the past 2 weeks. So it's not you, trust me. If I was streaming as much as I was, you would probably be making a shitload of them. But yeah, my goal moving forward with the baby is to stream 3 times a week. Really, yeah, that's kind of my goal. 3 times a week. See, me and my wife take turns rocking my daughter to sleep. So what's today? Is today my turn? I think today's my turn. And then tomorrow is her turn. I think. Wait, maybe tonight's her turn. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. She has a better memory than me. So on the nights that it's her turn to rock my daughter to sleep, that's when I'll do my streams. It'll be like, yeah, I'm hoping to do 3 times a week moving forward. But yeah. All right. Next question comes from Fifi Gable. Hey there, Daddy Greedo. Have you been following the World Cup? If so, who are you rooting for? My teams are all out. Denmark, Senegal, and Nigeria. No, I don't know a damn thing about it. I am like I guess I'm the typical, I don't know, American. I feel like a lot of my buddies and stuff like that, a lot of people around me get into the World Cup when it's going on, and then the rest of their life, soccer doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like the new, it's like the new thing to be into in the States. It seems like people are super into it, and then once the United States is out of it, they don't give a fuck. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, but no, I haven't followed it at all. I've never really paid attention to the World Cup. I've never really watched soccer. I've never played it. I've never really been into it, or football, as you guys call it. So I know that's probably really surprising, right? It's sometimes when we talk about sports, I feel like America, the United States, is on its own island. You know what I mean? Like, the rest of the world cares so deeply about soccer, football, all that, you know. And then here we are, you know, we have the NFL, we have American football, we have baseball, and we have basketball. I guess baseball and basketball kind of have been spread across the world. I know baseball is huge in Japan and stuff like that, and Cuba and South America. Basketball as well is kind of spread across the world. And I think all that was due to World War II, really. It's kind of an interesting story. These two sports majorly got spread around the world during World War II. You know, the soldiers in various countries would play these sports and teach the locals these sports and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, you know. But Fifi, no, I haven't followed it at all. I can't say I've honestly ever sat down and watched an entire soccer game from start to finish. I really don't think I ever have. I know that's probably silly for a lot of you guys, but that's the truth. That's the truth. But I appreciate the question. I know I should probably pay attention, right? Get on the world stage a little bit. What's up, Raptark? Moth Meta, what's going on, man? Make your bed. That is an awesome video. I agree. Absolutely agree. Jaguar. Yeah, Jake. Big time Jags fan. I used to have season tickets. And when did I stop getting season tickets? I think it was like 2011. Yeah. 2011 or so. But for like 4 years, we had season tickets. But yeah, big fan, big Jaguars fan. I don't live very far from the stadium. We try to make a game at least once a season now. But yeah, big Jags fan. The wedding was yesterday. Oh, okay. I got you. Thanks, everyone. Finishing up at the gym, so not ready for chat yet. Nice. The gym's a little more important, Will. I need to do that as I sit here. Dude, I had 2 fucking hot dogs today and pasta salad, and now I'm having a beer. Like, we just have leftovers from the 4th of July, and I feel bad for... I don't like letting food go to waste, so I always feel bad if it's just sitting in the fridge. And then I feel obligated to eat it. And, of course, I'm not going to complain about eating hot dogs with mustard on it. And then I just feel shitty. Because I don't need to eat that shit, right? Nobody does. Nobody does. The next question comes from Moth Meta. Hey, Greedo. Hope you and the family are doing well. This isn't so much a Star Wars question, but more of a PC question. Your PC is such a crucial part of your channel, you edit on it, create thumbnails, record audio, game on it, stream, upload, etc. I was wondering, did you build your own PC? If yes, what specs do you have? What advice would you give to a first-time PC builder? Thanks, and be well. Yep, I built my PC. I have always built PCs. I've never bought a PC out of the gate pre-built. I really learned how to build them from my dad. I still ask him for PC advice. He's like a hardware guy. He's a technical, I don't know. He's technical. Yeah. Good with that kind of stuff. I am not. I'm good with software. So what advice would I give? Man, I would just go by, if this was your first time, I would just maybe follow somebody's, like a YouTube channel's guide on how to build your first PC, and something modern, of course, with newer tech. I think that's the best route to go, because it is super daunting, even for me. I've built PCs my entire life, or since I've really been into gaming and whatnot. And it's still daunting for me. You know, there's really no method to a lot of the numerical naming systems of a lot of these pieces of hardware. So you don't even know if it's new, if it's old, if it's fast. You have to look at the specs, and then everything just, for my brain, whenever I have like technical specs and stuff like that to look at, everything just ends up being jumbled. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I'm looking at all this stuff, you know, all these numbers, all these specs, and my vision gets blurry, and then I just think about eating 2 hot dogs. And I just get bored. I think I have a little bit of like, I don't know how to describe it. But my specs are actually down in the video description, I believe. Let me see. I can read them out. Yeah, so my PC specs, I have a AMD Radeon R9 390 GPU. My CPU is an Intel Core i7-6700. I have 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. And then I have two 2 terabyte internal hard drives, and then my operating system boots up on a 150 gig SSD. See, doesn't that sound like a whole nother language? It confuses me. But it's down in the video description if you're looking to kind of gauge what I'm working with. Obviously there's newer stuff. I haven't really ran into any issues with my PC, man. There's no game out right now that bogs my system down. I built this PC maybe like 2 months before Battlefront 2015 came out. So yeah, like I don't even know, October 2015 is when I built it. And it's been great. Been absolutely perfect for me. The one thing that I would probably change, I would like to get a little more RAM. There's times where I'm you know, when you're editing a video, you can watch a RAM preview of your video before you render it and whatnot, and sometimes it chugs a little bit. So I would probably boost my shit to like, I don't know, 32 gigs of RAM or more. RAM is so cheap nowadays. I look at that's one of the things that's so cheap. Everything else, I mean, graphics cards nowadays, because of Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies, have just jacked up the prices. which is a whole interesting story. But yeah, yeah, I could not agree more. Jake, Moth Meta down in the chat right now. Jake says Moth should hit up Elliot from Battlefront Updates. Elliot is, if you're not following Battlefront Updates, he's a super knowledgeable guy about all that hardware stuff, all the technical aspects. If it wasn't for him, I would not be streaming. He basically taught me and told me how to stream, so I'm indebted to that guy for sure. I definitely owe him a beer whenever we meet. Yeah, that dude, Jake, Elliot should get into like tech stuff, like PC stuff. I know he's probably, he's super busy with all the Battlefront stuff, but I don't know. He'd be good at that. I think he'd be good at that. But Moth Meta, I appreciate the question. It's super daunting. It is super daunting, but yeah. I wish I could give more technical advice, but I'm kind of like a dummy when it comes to that stuff. The truth is, my PC is identical to my buddy's PC because he was building a PC at the same time that I wanted to build a PC, and I was like, you know what? Just send me your Newegg list. That's where I order all my stuff from, Moth, is Newegg. And I was like, you know what? Just send me a screenshot of what you bought, and I'll just buy it too. So we have the identical PCs, and that's probably what I'll do next time he upgrades his stuff. Because he's kind of like my dad. He's really good at, he's just, I don't know, he's really good at that. He's really good at paying attention. That's pretty much it. Oh, Blitzkrieg Gamer, thank you so much for the super chat and the channel support. I greatly appreciate that. There's a glitch in the Matrix. What's that in reference to? Did I say something twice? Do you have deja vu? Do you see a cat and then another cat? Is there a brick wall in front of a door? What other things go on in the Matrix? What's that in reference to, man? I'm curious. But Blitzkrieg, it's good to see you. I appreciate that channel support. You mentioned the Matrix. What did I see the other day? I was watching a clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about the Matrix. Just how, what was he saying? He was talking about the science of it. He was on board, but he was saying that it takes more energy because of the second law of thermodynamics. It takes more energy to power up a human, to use them as a battery, basically, and be able and feed them, rather. It takes more energy to feed a human being than it does to justify using them as a battery. Does that make sense? I don't know. I know people have a problem with Neil deGrasse Tyson always like poking holes in all these movies, and it's obviously he's doing it, to be facetious. He's being silly, but he means it. Truly, I'm sure he does. But it's fun, It's fun to have a guy like that around. I actually didn't know that, Jake. I didn't know he went to school for that. That's awesome. Where can I ask a question for the next stream? Not sure if I can afford Patreon yet, and I'm still banned from your server. Well, shit, man, you're here. If you have a question, pop it up on the chat. Absolutely pop it up on the chat. I drank a lot at the wedding. Psychotic. That can happen at weddings. I don't think I've ever been... Oh, man, I guess... I don't know if I've ever, gone to a wedding and not had a bunch of beers. I'm very curious. Oh, man. The next question comes from Movie Critic Dude. Oh, one sec. I need to turn up my volume.
Sorry to pour out my problems, but I'm usually always in a happy mood and you would always find me in a good mood. But now I'm feeling depressed and I don't know what's causing it. Help.
Shit. Oh, one sec.
Just means that it's called a sponsor Q&A, but months ago it was discovered that people can still send super chats and not be...
Oh. Yeah, it makes sense. Blitzkrieg, thank you so much, man. Can you guys hear the music at all? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? It's just kind of like some ambient background nonsense. It almost sounds like if you were to get a massage and the ping bong, it's like yoga music you know. The robot is like 1 volume. I guess that's all right. Yeah, I know. The robot's super quiet. I don't know why. Maybe the music is drowning it out. I really don't know. But I'm enjoying the music. I hear it on my headset. Can't even hear it? All right. That's probably a good thing. I'm going to read them in the robot order, all right? Psychotic. Sorry to pour out my problems, but I'm usually always in a happy mood, and you would always find me in a good mood, but now I'm feeling depressed, and I don't know what's causing it. Help. I don't know, man. I'm definitely not one to give the only because I really don't. I don't have that kind of like. Maybe there's a screw loose with me, but I don't have that kind of like. I don't have that depression feeling. I've never felt that. I've never felt kind of like any form of anxiety that's detrimental. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm really not one to give advice, but obviously everybody's been down, right? Everybody's been down. And the things that have always helped me are pursuits. Pursuits that at least feel self-fulfilling, right? Whether it be running 2 miles and getting back and hopping in the shower, you feel good about yourself. At least I do. I always feel good about myself whenever I do something like that. You set a task for yourself and you complete the task. And, you know, it's a little check mark of productivity for the day, a little check mark of patting yourself on the back, if you will. So for me, it's like making videos is something that I always set my mind to complete the task. And it's kind of funny. My wife would totally admit this, but before I stream and after I stream, I feel like I'm a different person. Because I feel like I completed something for the day, or before I make a video and after I make a video. Before I make a video, I'm a little impatient. I'm making the video, boom, 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 trying to get it done, boom, 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 and then after a video, it's like a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? But honestly, the advice I would give you is, you know, if you're truly concerned, you know, go talk to somebody. Nothing wrong with that. And don't let anybody tell you that there is something wrong with it, you know? Just I would go talk to somebody. Couldn't hurt, you know? Couldn't hurt. I never felt this in my life. It just showed up one day and it's been stuck to me for the past day. I don't know. Yeah, truly, man. If you're truly concerned about it, if I would go talk to somebody. I would. Won't hurt anything, you know. It could only help. Could only, you know, maybe it's what you need. Maybe they can help you out. Maybe they can lay out a plan for you, you know. But yeah, I don't want to give you any advice that would, because you know what I mean. I don't want to give you any advice and me just be spewing my mouth, doing more damage than, you know, than you need. But everything will work out, man. I truly believe that. You'll kick ass. But seriously, go talk to somebody if you're concerned. Wouldn't hurt at all. And maybe set a goal for yourself with the comics that you're drawing, you're making. Say, today I'm going to make a panel of comics. I'm going to make a panel. I'm going to make a page. And once, you know, set that goal for yourself. I think that's just one of the most important things, because, you know, we all know some of those older people in our lives who don't have either, you know, hobbies or passions or projects and stuff like that. And I don't know about you guys, but everybody that I know that's older and that kind of just doesn't do anything, their brain's mush. I'm sure you guys know people like that, the older people in your lives. It's all about tasks, doing something that makes you happy, pushing yourself, getting stuff done, I think. But I don't know. Yeah, go talk to somebody, man. Wouldn't hurt. And then Blitzkrieg Gamer. It just means that it's called a sponsored Q&A, but months ago, it was discovered that people can still send super chats and not be sponsored, hence my comment. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like you said, it was discovered, I guess, yeah, probably a couple Q&As ago, huh? Oh. Well, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, one sec. But Blitzkrieg, shit. You're making me want to watch The Matrix. And Psychotic Greedo, you've been more of an inspiration to me than anyone. Nothing you say will distraught me. Oh shit. Let me zoom in a little bit. No, I seriously, if you're really concerned, if you're legitimately concerned, man, I would go talk to somebody, because me, I don't even know what to say. Like I said, I've never felt that before, you know, so I can absolutely empathize, but I can't put myself in your shoes, you know. But yeah, I would say, you said you were off the grid for a few days. That always clears my head. Whenever, like, me and my wife go up to the Adirondack Mountains or whatnot, and we're just kind of, like, off the grid in a cabin, that just completely fucking clears my head. Everything, all my kind of, like, not anxieties or whatnot, but everything that I know I need to do or what, you know, it just kind of falls by the wayside, and I can just be. But I don't know, Psychotic. I don't know what else to say, you know. But I appreciate, you know, have you start a YouTube channel? Do something like that. Start writing all this stuff down and just go talk to somebody, man. That's my best advice. Absolutely 100%. Just go talk to somebody, you know. But yeah. Have you ever played Team Fortress 2? Would you consider doing a gameplay of it during a stream? Raptar. Yeah, it's been a long time. The last time I played Team Fortress 2 was like during the Orange Box era when that first came out. I probably have not played it since then, you know? I can't think of the last time that I played it. It was probably... When did the Orange Box even come out? I mean, it's been years and years and years. It was always super fun, don't get me wrong. But if I was going to play, like, Counter-Strike, I would much rather play Counter-Strike, right? To me, it's kind of like Counter-Strike. It's kind of like PUBG versus Fortnite, right? It's kind of like Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. Counter-Strike, to me, was always fun. Obviously, it was a silly, super fast-paced, not so serious shooter. You could bunny hop. And then you had Team Fortress, was like more of a cartoony shooter, a little more silly, a little more animated, you know what I mean? So whenever I would want to play like Team Fortress, I would always revert back to Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat. Would I ever play it on a live stream? Yeah, maybe. I would never say never to any game, really. But there's a whole laundry list of games that I would want to play before that, you know? Orange Box came out in 2007, and surprisingly, Team Fortress 2 has survived more than 10 years. That's crazy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Team Fortress 2 was out before 2007, for sure, right? Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting how many of those Valve games have stood the test of time. I mean, Counter-Strike is still one of the top games that people are playing. It's insane. People are still playing Day of Defeat non-stop. I love Day of Defeat. And then you have Team Fortress. It's like, these games, it's kind of funny because these games became so popular, right? They're still so popular that it's almost like Valve doesn't have any incentive to make new versions of them. At least that's kind of how it seems, you know? Why make a new Counter-Strike? Well, I guess they did with Global Offensive. That was how many years ago was that? I don't know, but why make a new Team Fortress 2 when why make Team Fortress 3 when Team Fortress 2 has just been kicking ass and their microtransactions and their all that kind of stuff? I think where things started to go downhill was when Counter-Strike, I think it was Global Offensive, I don't think it was in Source, but when they started introducing the crates and all that shit, as soon as that hit, that's kind of when me and my buddies stopped playing because people cared more about a fucking, like, dragon skin for their deagle than actually playing the goddamn game. Like, oh cool, I got another crate. Alright, I could care less. I play this game for the customization, or like the server customization rather, for the fun of it all, you know? I don't know. Like Half-Life 3. Exactly, yeah. I'm curious if Half-Life 3 is going to be... You know, Half-Life 2 was the game that probably out of any game in my entire life, Psychotic, Half-Life 2 was the one that made me go, holy shit, we have entered into a new era of gaming. That was the first time, like, facial movements blew me away, water effects blew me away, environments blew me away, everything blew me away with Half-Life 2. And that was like, to me at least, it was just such a huge leap graphically. And I'm curious if Half-Life 3, they're waiting for some big video game innovation to come around, maybe 4K gaming to be the common form of gaming, you know? Maybe they're waiting for 4K to just be it, or maybe they're waiting for VR to become way more abundant and kind of mainstream than it is right now. I don't know. Half-Life 1 was a huge game changer as well. Half-Life 2 just was an enormous game changer for me and probably for the industry as well. And I'm curious if every Half-Life game is just going to be the product of a new technological leap in graphics, you know. But yeah. The next question comes from the movie critic dude. I'm kind of, well, yeah, movie critic dude. My apologies for my absence on the last Q&A posts. I've been distracted by film university stuff, especially on the exciting ones like me graduating next year in February. Damn, man, already? That's crazy. That's crazy. One question in mind: what Star Wars games can you see if you decided to let other gaming companies make them besides EA? Do you still want the perfect Star Wars game for you in the Skyrim style, as I sure do as well? Absolutely. Oh, of course. If I could have one style Star Wars game right now, it would be a Skyrim style Star Wars game. 100%. But what other kind of games would I want if EA didn't have the license? You know, it's kind of a side tangent here. It's really easy for a lot of people, and I know you're not doing this, movie critic dude. This is a general statement. It's a lot of people. It's easy to criticize EA, right, for what they've done with the Star Wars license, or rather, what they've not done with the Star Wars license. They haven't made really. I mean, they made Battlefront and Battlefront 2, right, and then some mobile games that I don't even know what they are. But and then you look in the past, LucasArts was just pumping Star Wars games out, boom, 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 boom. We're definitely in a Star Wars game drought right now. But a lot of people blame EA for that, and I think it's probably a little more of a complex situation than just blaming EA. You know, Disney acquired the franchise. Disney's probably holding things a little closer to their chest than LucasArts did in the past. You know what I mean? They're a little more. They're not as loosey-goosey with the canon as the franchise was in the past. So it's probably a combination, if I had to guess, of... I know for a fact that EA has to get every single thing cleared by Disney and Lucasfilm before they put anything in Battlefront. So that is just another step to complicate things, right? So it's probably a little more complex than just blaming EA, right? It's probably just the checks and balances of it all. Disney's probably not willing to just kind of be loosey-goosey with the gaming franchise as you know, as Star Wars was in the past. But what other games would I want, movie critic dude? I've been craving a good RTS lately. I miss Company of Heroes and games like that. Company of Heroes is probably my all-time favorite RTS, along with Age of Empires 2. 3 was fun too, but I think 2 is the best. So yeah, I really want a Star Wars RTS. It's kind of, out of all the franchises or whatnot, it's the one that, well, including Lord of the Rings, is probably one of the best franchises for an RTS. You have, you know, multiple militaries, various locations, but yeah. So yeah, Skyrim style Star Wars game and a new Star Wars RTS are probably my two #1 Star Wars games right now, and I don't know if we will ever see another big budget Empire at War style Star Wars game again. And I know that sounds shitty to say, and I might be wrong, but the climate nowadays for video games, you know, RTSs seem to be a lot more finite in who's playing them. It seems to be one of the kind of the genres of video games that, I won't say it's dying, but it's certainly kind of on the back burner for a lot of developers. But yeah, when it comes to, well, what I will say about EA having the exclusive rights to the Star Wars franchise, I wish, you know, I don't have a problem with them having it at all. I like EA games. I understand everybody's complaint. I get it. But I would love for more independent kind of developers and developers to kind of have access to the Star Wars license and be able to make some really unique Star Wars games, because yeah, I as much as I love first-person shooters, Star Wars is just enormous, and there's so much potential for so many unique, not even stories to tell, but styles of games, you know? So, and that's where the innovation is nowadays, and these independent developers who put their stuff up on Steam, and then we all get to play the awesome games that they're making, the very unique games that they're making. So in my perfect world, I would love for the franchise, the license, to just kind of be spread around to different developers. You know, a little more competition in the world of Star Wars gaming. And not necessarily, and like it doesn't even have to be the case where the story is necessarily canon, right? Can't you just say, hey, developer, here's everything that, you know, you guys already know everything about the Galactic Civil War. Here's the Empire, here's the Rebels. Make an RTS game. Boom. Why can't that happen? It doesn't have to have a story. It can just be a multiplayer exclusive RTS made by an independent developer with a lot of cash thrown their way by Disney, right? Wouldn't that be incredible? I think so. I think so. But I appreciate the question, man. And Raptark, what was the last time Valve actually created a game? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not too sure. Still hopes for Half-Life 3. Oh, yeah. Probably till I die, right? Greedo, how many episodes you covered in your last Clone Wars review? Haven't been able to watch it. Like 3 videos ago, I told everybody that I don't have time to review 3 episodes in one video anymore. I'm just doing 1 episode per video. Because in the past, when I would make one of those Clone Wars videos where I would talk about 3 episodes in one video, that would take like 8 to 10 hours to make that video. Now, and I just don't have that time with the baby, man. I've uploaded like 3 videos in the past 2 weeks, and I've streamed twice, you know. I'm trying to get my footing schedule-wise. But, so yeah, no, I'm just doing 1 episode per video now. And I'm trying to do a Clone Wars video maybe once or twice a week. That's kind of my goal moving forward, you know. But yeah. Paul Robinson. The next question comes from Paul Robinson. Good to see you, Paul. Let me scroll up here a little bit. In the midst of a little heat wave here in the UK, as somebody from a warmer part of the world, one sec. There we go. Your top tips and getting some sleep, please. Wait, your top tips and getting some sleep, please. Hope the family are all doing well, fella. Right back at you, man. Yeah, it's the sunniest goddamn place Florida is. I had this thought yesterday. As I was sitting, I almost posted this picture of me sitting next to the pool yesterday at my friend's baby shower. And I was like, I am baking in the sun, and I looked up, and why isn't every single goddamn roof in Florida solar panels? I think, shouldn't that be some kind of legislation in the future? Wouldn't we save a lot of energy? I mean, solar technology is just coming down in price so much, and it's like every other technology, right? It'll drop drastically, even in the future. Probably not too distant future. So why can't we have every single roof be solar panels? The technology is getting better. It's getting cheaper. Maybe in the future, right? But Paul, my number 1 tip: flip-flops. Whenever I know there's maybe it's just Florida and California, maybe, but I've talked to a lot of people who are like, "What? You wear flip-flops?" Yeah. Everybody wears flip-flops. I haven't put on real shoes since like November. I'm not even bullshitting. I haven't put on real shoes since winter. Yeah, get some flip-flops. Get some flip-flops. Get some rainbows. That's what I wear. Get some rainbows. They last years. Other than that, golly, top tips. I haven't even thought about it. I'm just kind of like acclimated to the heat my entire life. I barely wear sunscreen, but you should probably wear sunscreen as a man from the UK. Golly, I really don't know. Flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. That's it. Honestly, I really can't think of any other tips. Flip-flops, that's it. But good luck with it, Paul. Good luck with it, Paul. I'm curious what you consider a heat wave in the UK. How hot does it get over there? What's the temperature right now? Let's see, for me. Florida weather. Right now, outside it is... Oh, it's only 87. Oh, it's a high of 86 today. That can't be right. It says it's a high of 86, but it's 87 outside. On Tuesday, it'll be 93. On Wednesday, it'll be 95. Oh, I guess I'm doing Fahrenheit, huh? On Wednesday, it'll be 35 degrees Celsius. And it gets hotter. Oh my God, it gets hotter. Wait for August. Wait for August. I wouldn't trust average Joes with a technology as fragile as solar panels. What do you mean? Like, I mean, people install giant TVs all the time and glass panels, you know? I mean, windows are probably more fragile than solar panels. You know, I don't know. That's what you train people to do that, right? Tesla actually has their own division of solar roofs. Found that out like a couple weeks ago. It's kind of interesting. They'll come to your house and put a full solar roof. I don't know how the company's doing. I don't think it's doing very well. Just because right now the technology is just too expensive. But everybody like puts... It's kind of interesting. Oh, it's too expensive. Yeah, people fucking said that about computers 10, 15, 20 years ago. But now you can get a Chromebook for a couple $100 and it's more like 1,000 times more powerful than the Apollo... the LIM. You know what I mean? From the Apollo moon missions. I don't know. It'll come down. We got this enormous ball of energy above our heads that dispenses more energy than we need for an entire year in a few minutes. And if we could just harness it, you know. I don't know. I don't like naysayers. Will Thompson, thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat. Will Thompson, thank you for the question. You are up next. Hello, HG. Just became a supporter, which was long overdue. Have you heard about James Cameron's story of science fiction? Yeah. If so, what do you think of it? I have heard of it. I haven't seen a single episode of it. Doesn't he have the show and there's also a book, correct? I think it's both. I could be wrong. I briefly saw like a clip of the James Cameron George Lucas interview, which was kind of interesting. But no, it's something that's been on my radar for a little while now, and I haven't really seen an episode. If it's a show, I'm pretty sure it's a show, but I also think it's a book too. I could be wrong, but it's definitely something that would be right up my alley. I love those kind of just long form interviews, like David Letterman's new Netflix show. I think it's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. Or Jerry Seinfeld's Comedian Cars Getting Coffee. You know, where there's no rules. They're just shooting the shit. They're just two people talking that you're interested in. So yeah, I'll have to check that out, Will. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring it up right now. Story of science fiction. Boom. All right. Saved, and I will check it out after this stream probably. But well, I appreciate the support, Will, and welcome to the team. And thanks for bringing that to my attention once again. I completely forgot about that show. I've been meaning to check it out because I've had people tweet me quotes from George Lucas from that show, and you know that's kind of pushed me to want to watch it or check it out even more. You know. The next question comes from TK Alexander. Hey, HelloGreedo. What are your thoughts on Ahmed Best's tweet about his contemplation of suicide after the release of The Phantom Menace? Thanks, and may the force be with you. It's a real bummer, right? It's shitty that people are so shitty, and sometimes I look at my older videos, and you know, I've never once said anything bad about Ahmed Best. I've followed him on Instagram for a long time. He seems like a really nice guy. Same with Jake Lloyd. I never blamed anything on Jake Lloyd. But I look at my old videos and I'm like, you know, like I can see how this could come off as me being an asshole when I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? But it's horrible what like Ahmed Best went through. It's can you imagine, Alexander? Can you imagine being cast for for the biggest franchise in the world, one of the most anticipated films in the history of things, and then you play a character that everyone ends up hating? It's gotta suck. It's gotta. I can't even imagine. But the world is way more empathetic nowadays. Granted, people are still dipshits. People still have, egg profiles on Twitter, and they force, they just constantly spam people and try to get under their skin. Like Kelly Marie Tran, on Instagram. I'm assuming that's why she quit Instagram. I guess that's kind of everyone's assumption. I don't know if she's officially said that or whatnot, or not that she needs to. But I think the world's a lot better now. People are a little more empathetic. People are a little more understanding. And we kind of recognize that shitty behavior towards people who are making a thing that you don't like. There's no reason to be an asshole to them. You know what I mean? And if you're an asshole to Ahmed Best because you didn't like Jar Jar Binks, then you're the asshole. I don't know. I wish him the best, I can't even imagine that feeling. I've not, God, yeah, you're casting Star Wars, you're excited. And then, everybody hates your character. But I think there's like a new appreciation for Jar Jar. I've seen people like tweet me saying I unironically like Jar Jar. And I'm like, cool, man. That's great. You like what you like, right? So I think it's like everything, right? I think it's how the sequel trilogy is going to be in the future. Is the kids who grew up with the prequels, when the prequels came out, they were a little too young to be able to, speak about it, have a voice, have their voice heard. It was just a bunch of people saying they didn't like the movie, older people. And now the kids that grew up with the prequels are of the age where they do get on the internet and they do have a voice and they can tell the people that didn't like the prequels, like myself, to fuck off. And I love somebody telling me to fuck off. I like it. So, no, I think there's kind of a wave of appreciation hitting Ahmed Best right now. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see, like, whenever something like that happens, the good definitely overtakes the shittiness, I think, But yeah, I hope I don't even remember what I said, Alexander, but I hope I answered your question there. Yeah. Ahmed Best is the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. Psychotic. Oh, man. All right, the next question comes from John Han? John Han? John Han? I'm going to say John Han because it sounds good. Hey, man. To bounce off a question that was asked earlier, do you think the hardcore fan base can reunite, and what will it take to get there? It's sad to see the division and anger, and sometimes embarrassing. I agree. Do you have any ideas on what movies / any other media could make this happen, or what could Lucasfilm and Disney do to see this happen? Have a good one. Interesting question. I don't think it's the job of artists or creators or writers, painters, photographers, directors. I don't think it's the job of artists to try to I don't know, pet a hissing cat is kind of the analogy that I'll put out there. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think Lucasfilm or Disney has to do anything to smooth over the situation, because honestly, I don't really see much of a situation. There's a few if I say a few, obviously people will be like, there's thousands of us. Well, yeah, no shit. It's a big fucking world, right? But in the grand scheme of things, yes, there are a few. Very loud. It's a very loud vocal minority. And I don't think anybody at Lucasfilm or Disney is under any obligation to try to smooth things over. Their only obligation is to their own creative vision. That's all. I mean, to me, that's all that matters. If I don't like a story, I'm not going to bitch about it. I'll say I don't like it, but I will appreciate that person, that director, that writer's vision. You know what I mean? That's really all I want from Star Wars, is for creative people to be able to have the creative freedom that I think they deserve. I don't know. Too many fans seem to want to dictate what happens, or think the one guarantee. If a YouTube video is titled "What should have happened," "What needs to be in blah 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 movie," you know what I mean? Those kind of clickbaity. I will never watch a video like that. Oh, it needs to be in there. Oh, tell me, Mr. Internet Man, what needs to be in the movie. Oh, interesting. You're very special. I hate that shit, man. I am all about absolute creative freedom without any outside influences dictating what happens and where the story goes. Because if everything is made to just be the most mindless drivel that does nothing more than attempt to make the masses happy, then I don't think you're pushing the boundaries that Star Wars has always pushed. That's what Star Wars has always done, it's push boundaries. It's always been interesting. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck I just said, John. But I think it's up to the fans to reunite with the fans. It's not up to Lucasfilm or Disney. It's up to the fans. It's up to the fans to just kind of... I mean, it's the same kind of divisions that happened during the prequels, right? But now it's just louder because the internet's louder. We have social media now. I think this is just going to be a generational thing, John. After the sequel trilogy, the kids that love the sequel trilogies right now, sequel trilogy right now will grow up and they'll have a voice and they'll be able to defend the sequel trilogy from the people right now who hate the sequel trilogy. And then the next trilogy, it'll be the same thing with the next generation, over and over again. I think it's as dumb as when you hear people say, "Oh, it was better back in the day. Oh, the good old days." Shut up. I'm 32. Yeah, I had fun when I was a kid, but it's way better nowadays. Shut up. It's way better nowadays. My Star Wars was better. Shut up. I think that's just kind of one of the saddest things. I don't know. You going to Celebration next year, Jake? I don't know yet, man. I have a really good friend that lives up in Chicago. If I do go up there, I would probably just, really hang out with him for the weekend and maybe go to one day of Celebration. I think there's still one-day tickets available. But my daughter will be 1 year old. When is Celebration? Actually, is it on her birthday? Let me see. Let me make sure. Star Wars Celebration. Let's see. Chicago. April 11th through the 15th. Nope, it's not on her birthday, but she'll almost be 1. So yeah, I really don't know how it's gonna work. It's hard for me to plan things now that aren't like bachelor parties or weddings. You know what I mean, with a baby. But I haven't really decided, man. If I end up going, it'll probably just be for one day, and I've only been to one Celebration. It was for one day down in Orlando, and I had fun. But one day is enough for me, to tell you the truth. I'm not, it was a lot of fun to hang out with a couple of my buddies, and we just walked around the floor. We went to one panel, but we stood in a lot of lines. And I would rather just hang out with my friend, go to one day of Star Wars Celebration, have him show me around the city. But yeah, Jake, if I end up going, I'm definitely gonna put an all call out on Twitter, let everybody know. And maybe we can do a little meetup or something, if I go. But we'll see. But the next question comes from Star Wars Media. What's going on, Star Wars Media? What is your favorite type and cut of meat? Let's see. Actually, as I speak right now, I have a slab of baby back ribs in the slow cooker. Gotta love it. They're pretty much identical to the ribs that I made in that video a couple months ago. Except for these are baby backs. The ones from the video, I think, were what? What were those? Can't remember. But I don't know. My favorite cut. I like filet, or New York strip. Pretty much any steak. Pretty much any steak is probably my favorite type of meat. My favorite cut, though, in my house, me and my wife probably eat more ribeye than anything. It's kind of a fattier steak, right? I don't know if it would be my favorite cut. I don't know, man. My favorite cut might be, God, I don't know. I've always had a love for T-bone steaks. Oh, one sec. Let me pull something up. Amazon. What am I doing? Type the wrong thing. All right, cool. I think I don't know. I'm gonna go with New York. I'm gonna go with New York strip. That's my favorite. There we go. Favorite type, steak. Favorite cut. You got your New York strip. That's what I'm going for. But I appreciate the question, Star Wars Media. I saw your question come in at the last second earlier, maybe a couple hours ago. But I dig it. I like the background music. I have earbuds on, and the music sounds really good. Yeah, I have headphones on too, so just I can hear it. It's probably a little more difficult with the speakers. You probably have to blast your speakers, but it's just kind of like low and slow, calm music that I enjoy. But yeah. All right, the last question comes from Amanda the Nerd. Hi, Greedo. Favorite Star Wars find when you've been shopping or on vacation you didn't expect to see? Mine was a Yoda. What is that? Sum? What should I know what that is? Let's see what that is. Oh, okay. I've seen these things. I didn't know what they were called. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm assuming I pronounced it correctly. Sum? Huh. Target while grocery shopping. Nice. I don't think I've ever seen a Yoda one of those. I've seen those at, like, I think Hallmark before. Maybe not. Maybe it was like a different brand. My favorite Star Wars find I've seen while I was shopping. Golly. You know, I've never really been one to buy very much Star Wars stuff or to collect anything. But I will say that I went to a place called Planet Fun. I don't know if it's still there. Let me look it up. Planet Fun in Savannah, Georgia. Yep, it's still there, I'm guessing. All right, yeah, it's called Planet Fun. It's in Savannah, Georgia. And it's just kind of like it's full of like 90s toys and video games, N64, SNES, NES, all that kind of stuff. Just it's basically Planet Fun. It's awesome. It's a really fun store. They had a gonk droid, little kind of. It almost looks like it's right behind me. Actually, it almost looks like a wind-up. It almost looks like a wind-up toy here. Its legs kind of click. I'm not too sure when it was made. It's got to be like an older, early 80s. Golly. I'm gonna do a little research right now. This is very exciting television. Gonk droid toy. I'm gonna see. Power of the Force. No, it's older than that. Gonk droid, power droid. Yeah, this is the same one. 1978. Okay, so yeah, it's this Gonk droid was made in 1978. And this place called Planet Fun just had a shitload of like Star Wars toys and stuff like that. And this Gonk droid was sitting on a shelf, and it was like $7, and I had never seen it before. And I thought it would just be kind of like a very simple, you know, everybody has like a Vader, a Kylo Ren, and stuff like that on their desk, on their shelves. I saw this Gonk droid, and I was like, you know what? That is just silly. silly looking. It's different, and it's probably my favorite find. Yeah, it's probably my favorite find. Something a little different. Was made in 1978. That's some kid who's probably in 60s or 60s or 70s even, owned back in the day. That's just kind of neat. But yeah, that's probably my favorite find. 1978 Gonk Droid right there. But cool question. I honestly had to really think about it because I'm not one to really buy many toys or collect anything. The one thing that I do collect in my life is like coffee mugs or shot glasses or pint glasses, drinkware, that kind of stuff from places I've been. I'm not much of a collector when it comes to Star Wars stuff or anything for that matter, So I really had to think. But I like this Gonk Droid. Your most respected people in the Star Wars community, YouTubers, podcasters, etc. Star Wars Explained and Elliot from Battlefront Updates are probably my two favorite. I've met Alex and Molly from Star Wars Explained. Super nice people. I've met them twice. Dash Star, me and him probably disagree on most things about the kind of the Disney era Star Wars stuff, but I find him to be one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Like I've said that before. I've met him twice. I've met him twice, and he's just super nice. One of the most kind of like personable people that you could talk to. Super inclusive, really nice guy. I like Steele Saunders. I'd like to hang out with him sometime, have some beers. But yeah, my Star Wars and Eckert's Ladder, really nice guy too. I'm trying to think. I've met a few guys, but when it comes to YouTube, I am a shitty YouTuber because I find myself like barely watching YouTube nowadays. But yeah, I think I really I respect Star Wars Explained, Battlefront Updates, Steele Saunders, and then you have like Dash Star, and yeah. I mean, obviously there's some other ones, but I have a shitty memory. But yeah. I know Jake, you like Elliot. I'm assuming you know Star Wars Explained. I'm sure you do. But all right, guys. Boom. It is 3:45. That was an hour. I gotta know what music this is. I want to play it myself. So this is actually a free like ambient soundtrack kind of thing that YouTube provides. YouTube has like a whole list of music that you can use that they provide you free of charge, and you're not going to get copyright hit or anything. Copyright struck. I think that's the right term. I don't know. Because they provide it, and they have a laundry list of music you can use or sound effects you can use. And this is one that's just called Fluidscape by Kevin MacLeod. But if you're looking for some neat stuff to listen to while you're working on things psychotic, I always listen to there's a YouTube channel called Pulse 8. That's Pulse 8, like you're checking your pulse, like your heartbeat pulse 8 and the number 8. They have a whole bunch of hour-long like kind of ambient synth. I don't even know what the word is, like chill, I guess people. There's a whole bunch of terms and genres for the music that they have on their channel, and that's what I listen to whenever I write videos, man. And it just puts me in the right state of mind. It's like good working music, But definitely check it out. Pulse 8. There's really good mixes on there, and it's just hours and hours of stuff that just kind of puts me in the mood to be creative and work on things, But yeah. All right, guys, that was an hour and 11 minutes and 41 seconds of this July 2018 Q&A. Oh, actually, you know what? I just had something come in. Let me check it out. I just saw that somebody posted on Patreon on my phone, my notification. I usually wouldn't do this. Odin, thank you so much for the last minute Patreon post there. What country do you want to travel to the most? What country? Well, right now the one place that I want to travel to the most is Alaska. Me and my wife, probably our next big trip might be to like Denali National Park. You know, out west we rented an RV and drove to 6 national parks. We want to go up to Alaska and rent an RV and drive around Denali and camp there and stuff like that. But when it comes to countries, what country do I want to visit the most? That's tough. I have a real desire to go to Cuba. I was talking to my buddy. I've known this guy since I was 13. Him and his wife are always traveling the world, and one of the more recent places they went to was Cuba. A couple years ago when it became okay for or legal for them to travel there, and they just went there. I know that sounds stupid, right? Legal to travel somewhere, but they loved it, and I would love to go down there before there's a Holiday Inn. You know what I mean? And before there's an IHOP on the corner. Other than that, I would love, like Moth Meta just said, Japan. That'd be pretty neat to go to. I've been to like Costa Rica and Panama and stuff like that. That was back in 2010, 2011 with the Navy. And I've always wanted to go back to Costa Rica. They have these, my buddy that I was talking about a couple seconds ago, him and his wife went to Costa Rica and did this it's like, I don't know what to call it. It's like a resort, but there's no power, and you have to whitewater raft to get to the resort. And every room has its own like infinity pool, and there's these big time chefs that work at this place, and they'll cook you your meal. And I would love to do something like that, you know, something kind of off the grid. I'd love to go. You know, when I was in Costa Rica, we just pulled into port and we had like a couple hours to go, and everybody just bought cigarettes and chewing tobacco and just went back to the boat. We only had a couple hours that they would allow us to spend out there. But yeah. But all right, guys, I got to get going. I'm gonna go see if how the baby's doing. I'm gonna go see how my ribs are doing in the crock pot. But this is fun. I always enjoy doing this. This time around, I only had like 11 questions or so. Normally I have like over 30, but so I don't know if maybe I didn't advertise it as much as I should have. But maybe next time I'll try to get like 1,000 questions, right? Oh my God, I'd probably say, hey, it's canceled. If I had 1,000 questions, I don't know if I would do it. How long would that take? It took me 11 questions in about an hour or so. We'll call it an hour. So how long would 1,000 questions take? Somebody do the math and pop it in the chat. All right, guys, I got to get going. But I appreciate all the support. I truly do. I know things are a little slow on the channel nowadays, but I'm still trying to figure out my footing. I feel super accomplished if I'm able to get 2 videos up in a week and stream at least once. But my goal moving forward is to stream 3 times a week moving forward and try to get a couple videos out a week. And I have a couple things written down. Jake knows Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about. And then, you know, the series that I kind of started the other day, just called Morning Coffee. I think I'm going to really enjoy doing those because I started writing a thing about Battlefront 2. I started writing a thing about early access games. It's kind of a series that I'm going to give myself a little more leeway and freedom and wiggle room on the topics that I discuss. Which I'm looking forward to, you know. It's just kind of like I can sit down and write a little script in an hour about whatever I'm feeling, and then have some coffee and sit on the stool. Need more Land Shark. I just actually bought another 12-pack of Land Shark when I was at Publix a couple hours ago. So I'm going to go have another one. I'm out of this bottle. I got 12 more. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Psychotic, thank you so much for the super chats, man, and I hope everything will work out. And, you know, confide in your friends. I think friends are some of the most important people you can have, and you should be able to talk to them, you know. Definitely confide in them. And Blitzkrieg Gamer, thank you so much for the super chat as well. I greatly appreciate that. And M98, thank you for the super chat and the channel support. And William Quint, thank you for becoming the latest fleet member. I appreciate it, guys. All right, I'm taking off. Let me turn on some outro music for you guys. I hope I don't blow out your eardrums. But as always, take it easy. Have fun. Be nice. See ya.